Yo guys, what is up and welcome back to a brand new video here today and some breaking news regarding F1 2020, and this is courtesy of Red Bull, an interview they did with game director Lee Mather, and Lee was speaking about some of the news on the F1 2020 game and also kind of hints at new features, and also does give away some key information regarding career mode this year. I just want to mention real quick, we're going to be talking about the article not in full. There are some things that we already know, such as customizable season length and also the new tracks and all the kind of things we already kind of know about the game. So I'm going to be talking about more specific things in the My Team custom career mode, and also it seems like the actual normal career mode is still in the game as a separate game mode. So we're going to be talking about all of that here today. So let's jump into the article and let's see what it has to say. So we jump into the interview and we go through a few lines, and the first major bit is, what can you tell us about the new My Team mode? For the first time in the Co-Master Series of F1 titles, we're giving the player the chance to enter the team into the Formula 1 World Championship. Players will have to manage both the running of the team and produce the results out on track. As with any F1 team, the player will be responsible for all the departments needed to run the team. These range from those which impact on pure performance to departments who work for you to get the best sponsorship and media deals, and those responsible for driver and staff training. So 5 key features there off the bat already. Engaging with the driver market and picking the most lucrative sponsors will also play a crucial part in creating a successful team, not to mention the development of the car and how you manage the team's time in between races via the new season timeline. Straight away guys, so much information here. So if you haven't seen it or you haven't seen my channel, I've been doing the MotoGP 20 career mode recently, which launched last week, and the career has been completely restructured in that game, and that game also has a calendar system where you go day by day, week by week, and you have to make developments from race to race, and also on the daily you're paying staff salaries, and you've got to manage things on the go all the time. And what happens in between each race is a lot more important now, because it actually exists. Before we didn't have anything in between races. You just do a race, do your upgrades, and then for the next race they've arrived and that's it. Now in between it looks like we're going to have to manage things, and some of those things are going to be sponsorship deals, media days, driver training, which is interesting, and also possibly running different departments of the team. So I'm guessing there could be some kind of staff system. Again, MotoGP has staff this year, so you can allocate 3, 4, 5 people, for example, to the engine department, and they'll work on upgrades for you, but that means everything else will suffer. If you only allocate, let's say, 2 people to each department, the upgrades are on the way, but they're not going to be very quick because not many people are working on them. So I'm guessing it's some kind of similar feature like that, because you have to allocate people to the places where you really need it the most, and also to get the stuff turned around and delivered quickly. So a lot to take in here, and very, very exciting actually. And it's just kind of an introductory paragraph to My Team, but really actually kind of hints at lots of little things that could be in the game, which is very, very exciting. And it seems like the career mode has been completely revamped, which is really, really cool. So just to recap real quick, we do have things to do with pure performance on track, so those results are still important. You've got sponsorship departments, so you've got to look for those. Media deals, another department. Then possibly driver training and staff training. So there's going to be all those different departments which you're going to have to work with. And like I said, I think this is very similar to MotoGP. Not saying they've copied it, of course not, because they developed the games at the same time. I'm just saying they seem to have both taken the same idea with this year's games. And it looks like we're going to have to be really working hard to allocate staff and make things work. So if you don't know how it works, if you want to check out my MotoGP career mode, a small plug, but it's actually relevant, you might get an idea of how it works if you watch my episodes from yesterday, last night's video. I'll leave a link up here, but if you want to check it out, skip to about 2-3 minutes in the video and you'll see what I mean about allocating staff and making things work for upgrades. Now here's the really big juicy paragraph, and it says, how does the driver manager experience work in My Team and what does it mean for players? Lee says it brings an entirely new experience to our F1 series, giving players a very different way to go about winning a world championship. You want to put in a strong performance on the track, as we mentioned before and as we saw before, but if you don't take care of your second driver and help them improve, you'll struggle to become a Constructors' Champion. So already I've got to stop there, because that is interesting. It goes back to the previous point, talking about the different departments. Maybe there's some kind of training system where you and your teammate or second driver train. And the first thing that springs to mind when I think of this is, if you've played FIFA career mode, you have the training drills and the training system where you can allocate players and do different training drills and things to try and improve their overall score. and they can get anywhere from A to F in terms of a rating on their training drills. So I feel like straight away in my head, this is something that springs to mind, and this could be another department in the game. So really interesting, and there seems to be a lot of depth to this, which is really interesting. But already I had to stop there. But what's coming up next is super exciting. As the team boss, you're no longer the commodity in the driver market, and it's your teammate and all of the other drivers in both Formula 1 and Formula 2. So there we have it. That is what we want to hear. So basically, if you're going to make a team in F1 career mode, you can choose any driver from F1 and Formula 2. So you're going to have a great choice of drivers, and you could, for example, pick Mick Schumacher, let's say, as a driver. You know, you could go for Schwartzman, for example, who's a very fast driver, very popular driver. There's going to be a lot of options, and you can make a very tasty team. And I'm guessing you could probably do some training and train up and improve drivers. For example, like, I'm guessing F2 drivers would have a lower score. Maybe that's how it works. There's a score system, and F2 drivers would have a lower score, and you have to train them up. So people like Schumacher or Schwartzman, they're not going to be at the level of course, Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen. So you need to train them and help them to, again, try and win that Constructors' Championship. So that is massive news, and really exciting. But we continue on reading because there's more news to be found. Another primary consideration will be funding and expenditure, and those two words will be, I believe, the exact same words that will be in the game as keywords in terms of how you allocate things. So again, think of this as I'm guessing there'll be some kind of system, you know, at FIFA, where you use the kind of adjustable switch to allocate finances. So you've either got spending money or wages, and you've got to kind of adjust the slider to get it right. I think we'll have a similar kind of style with that in here to adjust, you know, the money and how you spend it and how you allocate it for certain departments. You might want a higher profile driver and have the cash to hire them, but they won't stick around if you can't provide the level of facilities they expect of a championship winning team. Again, that is major news, more big news, and again showing that it seems like this year you have to worry about the right-hand man, the second driver, your teammate, who, or you might even be the number one driver. You have to worry about him this year because he's going to have his own decisions to make, and he will leave if he's not happy. And I'm guessing, who knows, there could be some cutscenes about that. You know, you just don't know, but it's really interesting that the second driver, now your teammate, is going to have a key role to play, whether that the fact he's not good enough and you have to train him up, or he's too good and you can't provide the team necessary for him, you know, or you get the balance just right and you've got a really good chemistry. So really key. Again, in MotoGP, there is a thing called team chemistry or team synergy. So basically, it's like a graph that proves how well the team is working together. So maybe again there's something in this year's game as well. So really key, and it's also worth noting that you might have the cash to hire them when in regards to the high profile driver. That does indicate that there is going to be a cash finance currency in the game that's going to run the whole career mode. So that is very exciting, and I can't wait to see how that works out. Now, there's just quickly two more paragraphs we want to run through. These are also important, but not as much. The second one after this is a bit more important, but just quickly, any beginner tips for my team? Normally, I wouldn't do beginner tips, but this is for this specific new game mode, so I think it's worth just quickly looking into. And Lee says, my team is vast and works very differently to the traditional career which players are used to playing. Rather than spending everything upgrading the car, you need to have a look at investing in the team for the long run, as the last thing you want to do is have to shut down a facility to save on spending. Also, pay attention to the tutorials and the ever helpful Carl, who will be back again and will talk you through some of the new elements as you set up and start running your team. Lastly, take the time to create a cool visual for the team, set up a strong color scheme and a striking team badge to make the team yours. So again, lots of things to take in there, and again, kind of hinting at there is going to be a big presence, and you're going to have to really be key and look at the cash. That's going to be important. The finances are going to be a big part of this year, and it seems like it's going to be the end of the R&D points. So we're not going to be having R&D points anymore on the F1 games. It looks like it's going to be either straight up cash or maybe credits. So one or the other. I'd be surprised if it is cash in like actual dollars, because the game is PEGI 3, which means it's suitable for kids. So whether they want to have that kind of dealing with actual money, we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, very exciting news, and we're now going to move into the final paragraph. Now, there is more after this, but this is the last, relevant paragraph of news I want to talk about. So there was another question saying, what are the new additions to career mode? What do you think are the most exciting inclusions? Lee said, as I'm sure most people will recall, we added in driver moves in F1 2019, and for that, Lee, well done. That was a really, really good feature. But he says, with the inclusion of my team and driver market, we've brought a similar system to the driver career. As part of the driver market, you'll be competing with all other drivers around you to get the best seat you can at the best price. We've also made some adjustments to how the R&D system works. Now, this is worth talking about. The title of the question is, what are the new additions to career mode? So this isn't my team anymore. This is career mode, which indicates we're going to have both separate modes. So we will have my team and career mode separately. They haven't got rid of the always traditional career mode, which is great news. So we're going to have a choice of both. And Lee does mention it seems like they have restructured the entire career mode system, and it is now called driver career. And the difference is, with the driver market now, you're competing to get into the best car, and it comes down to the cash, the finances at the best price. So really, really exciting stuff. You can't just go and jump into the best team. You have to pay. You know, you've got to work your way there. You've got to make it work. So really, really interesting. And I thought it was worth putting in the video that it seems like career mode is still in the game as a separate game mode. And they've also restructured how that works. And also cash finance is a big part of that as well. But guys, that is going to be it. So if you guys want to check out the article, it will be linked down below in the description. You guys can go check it out and read it for yourselves in your own time. I'm just kind of bringing you the breaking news and what I thought was interesting of the article. And we have confirmation that there's a lot of good things in the game, and my team and career mode seem to be separate game modes this year, which is great for the player who can choose whatever they prefer in this year's game. But guys, thank you for watching. The article will be linked down below in the description if you guys want to go check it out. If you are new to the channel, I'd appreciate a like on the video, and also if you could subscribe for the latest breaking news on F1 2020, I'd appreciate it. And also click the bell icon, the notification button, to not miss out on any content or any breaking news that may happen over the next couple of weeks. And yeah guys, that's going to be it from me here today. Just finally check out the 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. You might find them helpful or informative, and you might actually enjoy them, so I urge you to give them a chance. But guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. But until then, take care of yourselves, and goodbye.